So I made a huge mistake, and I'm going to tell you all about it. All right, everybody makes mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning, right? You got to learn from your mistakes. So we're going to get into this. Before we do, you know what to do. Hit that subscription button if you haven't already. The thumbs up. You're going to want to hit the thumbs up in this video because I kind of screwed up, and that's always a good time. And I am going to want to hear in the comment section from you, as in, Gary, it wasn't that bad, or maybe it was way worse than you think, but all that. And of course, hit me up on all the social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, whatnot. I get questions all the time. Where do you sell your books? Well, I sell them in March at King Con, July, Terrificon, and October, New York Comic Con, but I also move them every Tuesday night at 8:30 on Whatnot. If you haven't downloaded the app, check the link down below. There is a description for $10 off your first purchase, and you don't have to purchase from me. You still get that $10 off if you haven't used it yet. All right, let's get into this. In a nutshell, what happened? I made a bad trade. All right, and I happened to make two trades within an hour apart in the same parking lot. One was good. One, not so much. So we'll talk about the good one first. And you got to realize this. When you go to a comic book convention and you approach a dealer and you want to make a trade, you're not going to come out on top. Why? Because the vendor needs to make money on the transaction. An equal trade doesn't do anything for them unless you're able to convince them to trade. I shouldn't say convince. Let's say you're looking for a book that's been on the guy's shelf forever, on his wall, nobody cares about it, and you're willing to trade him a hot book or something he knows he can move. Maybe, just maybe, you'll get a vendor that'll say, you know what, sure, you can have this for that. It's financially equal, but I know I can move the book I'm getting from you faster. But that's a rarity as well. The vendor's always going to come up on top. Why? Again, booth costs, all right, U-Haul rentals, all the overhead, insurance, all this kind of stuff. If there's other people working the booth, they're paying them. So they need to come out on top on basically every single transaction. And that goes for me as well. When I make trades, I need to come out on top. I'm sorry. Again, unless it's something you're looking for a book that I haven't had luck moving and you're willing to give me something I know I can move. It's just the way it is, you know? So let's talk about the first trade. Okay. I did make a trade with a buddy of mine and I did come out ahead slightly, but it was cool because the trade, I actually got something for my personal collection. And for you guys who have watched this channel a while, you know, my favorite collection to come across is to find something for my personal collection. And I was able to make a trade and acquire a book for myself. So I traded away a Showcase 22 in a 3.0. That is the first appearance of Hal Jordan, first appearance of the Silver Age Green Lantern. That is a huge DC Silver Age key. Massive book, difficult to find in high grade. This was a 3.0. I personally have a 2.5 for my personal collection, and I liked the way the 2.5 presented more than the 3.0. Is the 3.0 valued higher? Yeah, it is, but I like the way the 2.5 presented, and of course, I'm always looking to upgrade, and this wasn't a good opportunity for me to upgrade, so I was able to move the book in a trade. Here's what I acquired back for that book. Now you got to realize that book is valued roughly at the time of the trade, which was months ago, so things may have changed. At the time of the trade, this book was about a $4,000 book. All right. So I was looking to make, get back 48 to 5,000 back, which is about 20 to 25% back on the trade. All right. Buddy of mine, it's probably not even close to that. It's probably a lot less. And I got a book for my personal collection. I'm always a sucker for a book for my personal collection, especially some of you guys who've made trades with me at conventions for Batman keys to upgrade. You know I'm a sucker to upgrade my personal collection. So the first book that came back to me in this one was an X-Men 12. This is the first Juggernaut in a CGC 5.5. Primo. It's a pricey book, but it's a major X-Men key. First Juggernaut, everyone loves Juggernaut. Great cover, great book. This was slam dunk, awesome book. And the same with the second one that came back. This was Tomb of Dracula 10 in a 7.5. No brainer. Silver Age, bronze key. I put that in the B level. You know, for you guys, I talk about this a lot too. That A level, the bronze A level books for Marvel, I always think is Hulk 181, ASM 129, and Giant Size X-Men. That B level, Marvel Spotlight 5. Tomb of Dracula 10, and Werewolf by Night 32. Just my personal tiers of the Bronze Age marble. So I was like, sure, I'll take back a tier 2 Tomb of Dracula, right? Okay. The next book was really cool. This was Submariner 1 in a CBCS 8.5. Presents beautiful, has that little check mark that CBCS does, so it presents better than the grade or something. I always get this screwed up, and you guys usually correct me in the chat. Anyway, that book will be cleaned and pressed. Actually, I think I have it right over there. I'm going to crack that, have Erod clean and press it, and get it off to CGC. So it'll be fun to see if that thing can push the 9.0. If that thing can hit a 9.0 CGC, this is a huge trade. Granted, I do have to invest more money, but that's okay. I'll take that risk, because even if it comes back in 8.5, I'm happy. That CGC label is worth more than the CBCS. Some of you guys can be upset about that, but facts are facts. You can be mad at me and say, no, you're just a CGC fanboy. Facts are facts. CGC books sell higher than CBCS books. It is not a knock on CBCS. It is just fact. Sorry. And then the last book was actually one for my personal collection. Something pretty cool. This is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 4th print, signed by Kevin Eastman in a CGC 9.8. That's going to stay with me. And that was the complete trade right there. All right. So the Showcase 2230 went out, Hal Jordan, and those 4 books came back to me. All right. Did I come out on top? I did. Yay, success. But, if I keep the TMNT for myself and all the other books remain the same, the subby still hits the 8.5, it's basically a wash, and I made the trade to pick up the Turtle book. Following along? Good. All right. Next. This is where things went wrong. This is where things went spiraling out of control. And again, remember, same parking lot, an hour apart. I didn't even move my car. Still there. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I received before I tell you what I traded away. First thing I received is a Spawn #1 in a newsstand, probably about an 8.0 to an 8.5, not a very high grade copy. If this book was like a 9.8, that would help. It'd make me feel better and sleep better at night. Unfortunately, it's not. Next up was Amazing Spider-Man 316. This is that Venom Spidey cover. They call it the first Venom cover, but it kind of is, it kind of isn't. Anyway, it's just a classic McFarlane. Beautiful book. Great book. This one, like a 7, 7.5. Not fantastic. Next up, sticking with Spidey, Amazing Spider-Man 238. This is the first Hobgoblin, and it is incomplete. There are no tattoos in the back, which I knew going in. Well, I knew when I was there and I looked. Thor 168, and I think this is like a Galactus art origin story. I don't remember. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. This is a newsstand. It's not getting graded. It's probably like a 9.0. We'll put that on Whatnot or something, and we'll see what it goes for. Next up, Thor 133, first full appearance of Ego, the Living Planet. We saw him in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Next up, Hellboy Seed of Destruction #1. Now, I think this is like the first Hellboy in color. It's not the true first Hellboy. Something like that. I always get these Hellboy keys mixed up. Next one is a funky one, too. Venom 3, second print variant, first appearance of Null. That's a lot going on there. All right, now, that's it for the raw keys. All right? Yeah. Let's go to some slabs now. This is not good. All right, first up is Amazing Spider-Man 316. Again, this is in a 9.6. Nice book. All right, followed up with a New Mutants 98 in a CGC 9.4. Now, these are just the best of the best. There were other slabs mixed in. I'm just pulling out the biggest keys. Iron Fist 14 in a 7.0. This is the first Sabretooth. People have been speccing a little bit on this book. This book popped a little bit, and I think it's coming back down to earth, but little bit of momentum behind this one. Hulk 340. I forgot what grade it is. You guys see it on the screen over here, probably. Again, great McFarlane cover. It is a newsstand copy. Was it like a 9.0? I don't remember what it was. Anyway, that's that. And last but not least, a Venom #3 in a 9.8. This is the first full null. This is the first null, period. That's it for the bigger, better graded books. What also came out of this collection was about 3 to 4 short boxes of $10 plus books. So yeah, 10 to 20, maybe $30 books. I don't remember if anything really hit $40 or more in those boxes. Yes, some of these books I mentioned earlier did, but that's it. So this is everything I received. About 3 to 4 short boxes. There were a few boxes of bulk that are just going to go. I mean, if I make $100 on that, great. You know, nothing really, anything terrible. I also received $600 cash back. Okay, so kind of run everything through your head. What did I trade him? I just am embarrassed even saying this. Okay. I traded away a book that valued at $6,000 at the time of the trade. I don't know what it's at now, but this book was an Incredible Hulk 181 in a 7.0. I could hear you groaning right now, like, oh, what did you do that for? I don't know why I did that. You know, I hooked this guy up. I could probably get back the money. It's probably almost even. Not what you saw, but between the other boxes, I'm still kicking myself. I don't know why I did it. Some days it was just, I don't know. He may have been a Jedi. I have no idea why I did the trade. I know why I did the showcase trade. I don't know why I did the Hulk trade. So you're talking about $10,000 in books going out the door, just in 2 books. 6 and 4 make 10. And you just saw what I got back. It was bad. And I made the trade. I got the $600 cash too. So I got 10% of the value back in cash, and then the rest in books. And as I'm going through the collection, I'm like, this isn't as good as I thought it was. And then I go to the next box, and I'm like, this isn't as good as I thought it was. By like the last short box, I'm like, this is not good at all. So, you know what? Again, everybody makes mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. It won't happen again, I can guarantee you. But maybe the guy who received the 181 is super duper happy. I'm sure he is. It was a piece he's been searching for a long time. So I'm happy for him. That's great. Me, I have all the work to do. I don't know. There you go. Everyone makes mistakes. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I told you you're going to want to leave comments down below. I told you, like, oh, you're an idiot, or it's not that bad, or yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep it comics.